Me and my boyfriend lived together, and I kind of had the realization that, you know what, there is probably another person out there who's a more suitable partner for my boyfriend because we don't have But I think that this relationship that we have together is simply like a stepping stone into both of our own relationships in which we will probably have sex with our partners again.
Yeah.
But for now, we're just very happy together and want to keep living together. And I imagine that there will be a time that my boyfriend will meet someone else that is a better girlfriend for him. It's still going to be very painful. And then maybe we won't live together anymore. Maybe we will still live together and she'll move in with us, right? I don't know.
Yo, the
Rebecca Vanguard. She liked us enough to come for another podcast, I guess.
Of course.
This is so weird not having a headset. I feel
Left out.
I'm the guest, honestly.
So, Zemmy, tell me about your experience in the porn industry.
It was short-lived. Very short-lived.
Are you self-conscious about your small dick, yes or no?
Yes.
Cool. Huge. Me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Rebecca Vanguard on. You were on podcast 95 with us. It's by far our most
Fantastic
viewed
memory.
podcast. We had our most viewed clip ever with like 14 million views, plus like Facebook like adds another 3 million. It's good to have you on. We were so hyped. I mean, when you were like, I'm coming into town, so I mean, I were like, let's go. We had so much fun last time. We have so many questions for you. So welcome back.
Thank you. I'm glad, as I was saying to you the other day, I'm just grateful, also grateful for the experience because the 14 million views is actually like probably my most viewed video ever, like above anything adult that I've ever made or anything. So like I was saying to you, it's it shows me that there's actually a pretty big or possibly large demographic of people that might want to see me do something else other than which is extremely hard because when you do porn you're basically like putting yourself in a box. It's like who had a super iconic role, you know, and you're just like known for that and then actors don't get hired for a long time after that because they're like known as like, you know, the guy from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that guy, everyone still calls him Carlton. Everybody still fucking calls him that poor guy.
I feel like I have that for New Girl Schmidt. I can't see him in like any other role besides like that role.
Or like,
Daniel Radcliffe for me.
Yeah.
Because he's like,
Harry
he
Potter.
is Harry
Yes.
Potter. Like seeing him as anything else.
Yes. Not possible.
No.
Not
Can't
possible.
Yeah, it was hard for me too with Elijah Wood or whatever in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Because he did that one show with that dog, with the guy who dresses up, the Australian guy who dresses up like a dog.
Is that
it was actually
Wilfred
really good.
or something?
Yeah, Wilfred. That's what it's
Wilfred.
called. That actually was really good. That one.
I have no
liked
idea
it.
what you're talking about, but yes.
You should watch it. You should look it up. Wilfred.
Okay.
Elijah Wood.
He knows. We literally on our last podcast sat here and talked about how terrible I am about watching
I
movies,
was like, have you seen
Oh.
this one? No. And he's like, I was like, what about this one? He's like, no. And I was like, okay, well, you need to start like a list. And
Sebby gave me homework.
I feel like my other
Yeah.
friends do that to me. They're like, how have you not seen this movie? And I'm like, okay, like I need to start writing these down then because apparently I've missed out on a lot.
Well, it's a good sign because it shows that you guys are, you know, outside and touching grass and all of that, and that's really good for people our age right now. I think, honestly,
That's just what I want you to think.
I didn't think of it like that, but yeah, I touched grass. That's one of the best insults. Like I still play video games, and like that's one of the best ones I've heard recently. It's just like, yo, kid, go touch grass. You're like too cracked. It's so funny.
Yeah, you need to go
That makes me
outside.
giggle every time.
Go talk to some girls or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
yeah.
go touch grass.
Go to the mall. I don't know. Be fucking normal and stop playing fucking Among Us. Or whatever.
Dude, okay, wait, we when we were in Houston, we were all like super tired after a day, didn't really want to go out. There was like 5 of us and we were just like, you know what? Fuck it. Download Among Us. Let's just like play Among Us with like the 5 people. It got intense, bro. We were yelling, screaming, gaslighting each other. It was it felt like how it was in
Family
COVID,
game night.
honestly.
It was a good family game night.
Aw, I like stuff like that a lot, actually. It's cute.
Rebecca, so our thing, we didn't do this last podcast because honestly I think we were still like developing it a little bit.
Yeah.
But
We also renamed our podcast since I think you've been
Oh,
on.
I think
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Yeah, definitely. We appreciate you're very active. You're always like you were talking shit about my hair the other day. I was like, Damn, Rebecca.
You guys both were, I assume, because you could see yourself in your phones. It was like recording with your phone. And I get it. When you can see yourself, it's hard not to like. That's why I don't like to FaceTime, because I'm not even looking at the other person. I'm just staring
Or
at myself.
Zoom, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
in the corner.
No, you're never looking at the other person.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
So every time you guys were like looking into the camera, you were like fixing your hair and stuff. And like that look exactly like it was hilarious.
It also helped that we had one camera. Like that was back. Those were like episode 40s. That clip was from, and we just. That was the most fun, just like run and gun setup. Like now it's like 3 cameras, 3 mics, headphones, like all this equipment. Before it was just like set up this camera, pull up our voice notes app, talk mad shit, put everything into a video file, call it a day.
Wow.
So that was a lot. I don't know if simple is the best way to put it, but it was just like
Scrappy.
It worked
Scrappy.
though.
Yeah, it worked. Yeah, it definitely worked.
Anyways, rebranded, kind of figured out what we want to do on this podcast. One thing that we start doing is every podcast we start out with a story of somebody either pissing themselves or shitting themselves. So,
As an adult, not as a kid.
As an adult. Well, sometimes as a kid, but usually as an adult.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're pretty entertaining, so I thought I'd read you one. This one, sometimes we get them submitted. Sometimes they're from Reddit. This one's from Reddit. All right. So this was on a thread about, like, people, tell me about you shitting your pants. And someone said, I didn't shit my pants, but my girlfriend's dad did. It was the second time meeting her parents, and I was living in her apartment at the time, though her parents didn't know that. They thought I was only staying with her for graduation. One morning, my girlfriend left to do errands, and the parents thought I had gone with her, but I had actually stayed behind to nurse a hangover with more sleep. To my surprise, I hear people enter the apartment swearing very loudly. Confused and hungover, I stumbled out to make sure no one is breaking in. What I see is etched into my mind forever. My parents' father has just managed to shit the front of his pants, completely ruining them. To make it worse, the way I found that out was I walked in on him sitting on the toilet, still shitting, while his wife is desperately trying to wipe shit off of his dick.
Oh my God.
Oh, Teresa, your face.
Teresa.
Wow. That's a new one. I really wasn't expecting that.
He ended it just with, I quickly snuck out of there without them knowing, but after 2 more years of dating, I confessed to them what I had witnessed. We laughed about it now, we laugh about it now, but shit, that was scarring.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I'm curious as who's more scarring. Is it for the guy to have like shit all over his dick and balls and shit, or more traumatizing for the son-in-law, I guess, right? It was his girlfriend. Yeah, his son-in-law to see it. I don't know. Both is pretty. If I shitted myself so bad, like it was up in the front, like just.
I think the craziest part is the wife.
Yeah, right? Like, let me just. Honey,
dude, my like wife, girlfriend, whatever, shits herself. I'm like, that's a you problem.
Yeah.
Unless you have no arms, you got like go in the bathroom and deal with. I'm not gonna shit.
No way.
Just go in the shower.
Yeah.
I mean,
just jump in the shower. Don't.
I mean, but I guess if he still had to keep shitting, poor man. I wonder what happened to him. What did he eat?
That is
man?
crazy. I would
Wild.
love to hear
like
the
uncontrollably pooping almost.
Well,
Yeah,
also
definitely
like,
liquid.
He had to be sitting, right? Like maybe it happened in the because
it had
it
to
went to
have
the
been.
front, so
Yes.
like maybe it just like came out so forcefully it kind of just
Yeah.
you know. I don't.
Yeah, for sure. Because I've stood and pooped in my pants, liquid, but it was as a child, and so I guess doesn't count as much. But and yeah, it definitely goes down your leg, down the leg of your pants. So he had to have been sitting.
Do you have any poop your pants or pee your pants stories that you think would be funny to share? Or if you don't, that's fine. We can move on. But I just thought in honor of you destroying our bathroom last time and not flushing, this would be a good...
Don't say not flushing like it was my choice, okay? It was against my will.
You really.
Go listen to the last podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the first thing that comes to mind is peeing my pants on purpose as an adult for porn, because it's a really big fetish. And the first time I did it, I couldn't do it. And now I've realized that sometimes...
Isn't that insane? Like.
Yeah.
That's actually like insane to think about.
Yeah, you got to take off your shoes. You don't really think about it because you're obviously not like pissing your
Yeah.
pants a lot. So, and then I ruined my
Well.
shoes not thinking about it, and I should have took off my shoes, and it was just bad. So I had to throw them away. And oh yeah, first time I tried to do it, I couldn't do it at all. It just like I think went against every
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
Like I think
Yeah.
if we put like $200 on the table and someone's like pee your pants, like I don't think I could do it. Like I like physically, like my body,
Bro,
like
I could 100% do it.
like I'd want
do
to,
it.
like I would want to. I just like I'd have to like be like everyone like shut up. Like I'm trying to like
I gotta close my
yeah
eyes.
yeah.
If I had enough water in me and somebody was like, pee your pants right now, I could easily do that shit.
Yeah.
I could do it.
It's I think it's just something like your brain is just so like that's not what you're supposed to do, and it would definitely like I totally see how you could just be like I can't do it. I
Yeah.
want to. The check is signed. Like I want to do this. I just can't.
Yeah, no, yeah, literally like hundreds of dollars for like it's like for a set of clips, not like one clip. Obviously, you do like a bunch of fetish clips, and you get paid like I don't know, $500, $600, $700 usually.
So was this for like your many clips, or was this okay? This is a good segue actually into we did our research. We watch a porn documentary.
The one on Netflix.
The
The new one?
Yeah, the Money
Okay,
Shot.
I haven't watched it yet. My mom sent it to me, and she's like, "We should watch this together," or something.
Oh shit! I might have watched the wrong one.
Did you watch Money Shot? That's like the recent one.
I
watched one about like the history of Pornhub.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
Yeah.
it?
sounds
Okay,
like
I
it.
didn't see the name of
The
it.
cover of it's like orange with like.
Ooh,
You don't remember that?
Zero
Okay.
clue. But it was like
talking about like
interviewing.
Mind Geek and
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
it
yeah.
had to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So we we watched the same one. One of the questions that I had was kind of around the monetization of porn because it was really interesting. One of the gals, she's saying one of her most like number one moneymakers is rating people's dicks.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
remember that part?
Yeah.
I
I want to do that for my friend. That'd just be hilarious.
I honestly, bro, like
The hard part is just getting the dick pic though. Like, can't just be like, hey, homie.
I genuinely believe if I hit up some of my followers, not hit up, but just put on my story like, yo, send me your dick pics and I'll fucking rate them. I genuinely think some people would send me that.
That's insane.
I genuinely
Yeah,
think so.
I think
But-
so too. Fans.
So tell me about the monetization of peeing your pants. Like, how did that come? How did that happen? Was that for a studio? Was that for that? And then also, I would love to hear what is your number one monetization for
My niche?
your business? Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay, yeah. So when I get hired to do the pants peeing stuff, yeah, it's like because someone's hiring me to do the clip and it's for their fetish studio because
Got it.
their niche is also so niche that it's kind of hard for me to participate in every fetish, right? So you got to find your own thing and then I've also done it like as for free technically for my porn mom.
Is that kind of like drag moms?
Kind of, but like, yeah, instead of like helping me with my drag, she's just a good mom for like, she just gives me advice
Yeah.
and mentorship in
Who
the
is your
industry.
porn mom?
I talked about her last time. I think had to think about it because she has like a comedy name and a porn name, but her porn name is Jamie Foster.
Jimmy Foster.
Foster. Okay.
Cool.
I don't think I know who that is.
And yeah, we actually look a lot like each other too. So you'll know when you see
Oh,
her.
funny. Okay,
And
I'll
she's
look her
very
up.
funny. And she does stand up comedy. And my niche though, gosh, I don't know. Like I don't want to be like repetitive because I don't like remember what I said the last time or talked about the last time.
No,
or
I was thinking about it on the
anything.
way over too. I was like, fuck, I hope I don't ask like the same like question. Like my memory's horrible.
I have a
Yeah,
decent
yeah.
memory. I can tell you if we
think
have.
so?
But also too, a lot of people that are going to listen to this podcast probably haven't seen that one. I definitely think if you're listening to
True.
this, you should go listen to that after this one. But
Okay, I agree.
just
that makes sense.
say whatever's on your mind. Don't think about if you've said it before or not.
Definitely anal. I definitely sell a lot of anal clips and put a lot of like anal solo videos on my OnlyFans and but it's kind of crazy how like it kind of puts you in a box because I do like a lot of anal and DPs and like gangbangs and stuff. So that's just kind of what I keep getting hired for, which is fine. I like it, but I would also like to have more like acting opportunities. That would be nice. Yeah, you get kind of typecasted in that sense. But my technically my number one selling clips are my puke blowjobs. So I do solo ones. The best ones are the with a guy, an actual penis. And then what is my top selling one? What was it? I don't know, but all of them, like I've definitely made like thousands of dollars off of these, and like all it's very highly like stylized though. It's not like your typical. I guess it's just not like disgusting just to be disgusting. I don't know. I want it to be like cute, kind of for pretty, and so I usually fast and I'll shoot in the morning or the afternoon, and I'll drink.
I wouldn't have even thought about that.
Yeah,
Holy
me
shit.
neither. I would have never thought about that.
I would have had like just like the worst stuff and then gone right into it.
and
like,
that's
yeah, and then,
happens
yep,
sometimes.
and then you learn.
And then I'll like usually drink or eat something colorful like blue or pink or purple, like and I'll usually take like almond milk and put food coloring in it so it has like a fun color. Yeah.
Oh.
And
That's smart.
Yeah, so I've done purple, pink, and blue so far, but you can't really no reds because it's too light
Yeah.
blood, and that's
Yeah.
a big terms of service or whatever credit card companies.
Credit card companies hate red puke.
Fucking assholes.
Assholes. Green puke's cool though.
Yeah, that's
if
the
it's like
next one I wanna
Nickelodeon
do.
slimed, like you're good.
Oh, dude, that's what I should do. Thanks, that's a great
You're welcome.
idea. I appreciate that. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that's
do
a free.
that.
That's your freebie of today.
Thank you. Yeah,
Title
no.
just Nickelodeon sliming his cock. That's
Yeah.
it. It's the big.
Cock gets slimed.
It's the next little thing on the Teen Choice Awards. Rebecca comes on,
To present.
walking on stage.
That'd be
What's
a
up?
for the. Don't they do awards for Pornhub
The Pornhub.
or the
Yeah.
AVN awards? Dude,
Yes.
that would be fucking
Both.
crazy.
Yeah, you could get cum slimed maybe. Do,
Cum
like
slimed.
fake because they have cum. They have cum lube.
Mm-hmm.
Not real cum, freak. Where am I gonna get that much cum,
I was
Teresa?
gonna say that's
Horse
a,
cum.
That's a lot. Of, oh my god, yeah.
It's like from a whole herd of horses. No, they have cum lube, and like, yeah, you could do that. Like, but instead of the slime, the cum lube. Get cummed on. Get came.
get camed on.
I don't know, dude.
The-
Cummed on.
You know how like in the Choice Awards they like open like or whatever they like open the thing and it's like shoots them with slime. I'm just thinking like the porn.
Yeah,
So the
like-
porn awards they just.
Fuck yeah.
Just like green cum.
Just
love that.
I'm imagining like hey, have you ever every sport has a version, a contact sport has a version of the gauntlet.
Yeah.
It's like a gauntlet, but it's just a bunch of dicks that like fucking
Yeah.
as you run through, just fucking
And they're all, oh my gosh, yeah, like an athletic, like bukkake. Here's the thing, it's really hard to do
Athletic
something new.
bukkake.
Yeah, it's hard to do something new. So these things that people might actually, they hear stuff, might actually make stuff like that because it's just like,
hey yo mind geek, hire us. We're fucking
well,
we'll
oh
be
my
the
god,
creative team.
So it's like a big running joke. I feel like with producers and performers that like these big companies, like MindGeek and Gamma and them, like okay, I want to say I think MindGeek is based in Canada.
Yep.
Canada. I know it's Canada. I just said like that. Just want to clarify. And Gamma is, I don't know. I think they're also Canadian, or I think they're also Canadian or American, I think. Either way, their scripts are notoriously really bad and make no sense. So actually, it's not a bad idea. I think they should get some
Could
real
happen.
writers in there.
Bro,
you know?
let's go.
Yeah.
We still gotta make our porn script writing debut. We
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
no.
never got around
seriously.
to it. That'll be a good like first drop episode.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
if we write
Yeah.
a porn script,
Yeah.
maybe next time you're out here, we'll like not shoot a podcast and like sit down and write a porn script because that would be
Brainstorm.
still really sick.
Yeah, like we could write a full feature with like multiple sex scenes because that's what I don't get to do is like the features
Oh, that'd be fun.
with like a whole storyline and with characters
That
and
would
everything.
be sick to have
Bro.
like us sit down and do that and then like you like go in and you put your parts in. I don't know, have you always like ever wanted to like actually write, and have you ever written in the past and like gotten it produced?
Yeah, no, I guess yeah, for sure. And I guess okay. So another thing I've always wanted to do, it's called a showcase, where so on a DVD there's usually 4 or 5 different scenes with different girls, but a showcase is like a DVD where you're in every single scene. So it could be like a feature / showcase where, because that would make it a hell of a lot easier if I was in every scene. Then I
Yeah.
just have to worry about finding my scene partner, and I
Yeah.
can easily find someone to help me like direct it and do photos and
Yeah.
video and stuff, and then
That'd be
I would probably
crazy.
edit it.
That'd be so cool. Yeah, then you could
Yeah.
have like it could be all you know, like writing and producing sort of. That'd be
Yeah.
fucking cool.
Yeah, I like that.
That'd be sick.
Swinging back around to the monetization thing.
Yes.
This was like my biggest question. In the documentary, it seemed like a lot of the people they interviewed were doing solo, either making money off of OnlyFans or what was Pornhub's one? It was something Hub, Model Hub. It was their version of OnlyFans before they got their payment processing revoked.
Okay, yeah.
I remember last time you were here, you were saying that that's not your main source of income.
Yeah, correct.
Interesting. So you don't share their same sentiment of like one of the big beautiful woman porn
Yeah, I
stars
remember
on
her.
there.
Yeah.
BBW?
Yeah. Sorry, I should have said that.
No, that was great. Thank you.
I was funny because I'd always seen that and never known what it meant, and then they clarified
Yeah.
it, and I was like, oh,
I
cool.
forgot what
Like,
her name was.
Gwen something. I watched it literally
Yeah.
yesterday, so
Oh yeah, I watched it a while ago.
I want to. Okay.
you should watch it.
I do.
It's super good.
Yeah.
She was talking about how she made most of her money off of that, and a bunch of the other porn stars were saying like, with studios, they made significantly less than if they were running their own OnlyFans and editing their own videos, and they liked having the control of it. But just from our last podcast, that's not really the same thing that you shared. I'd love to hear more about your experience with that, because you seem really gung-ho about like studios and stuff.
When I give people advice when they want to start doing porn or they're like new to porn, I tell them to literally try everything, because just because it didn't work for me doesn't mean that it's not going to work for you.
Got it.
So you really don't know. And also, I should clarify. So when it comes to
That's
big,
great life advice. I was gonna say that's great life advice, honestly.
yeah, just and then do what sticks. You know, throw everything at the wall, see what sticks, and do what works for you. Don't necessarily. I mean, you should still ask for advice and like take, accept good advice, but yeah, sometimes it's not that simple. So, so particularly with big beautiful women, our BBWs, there are not a lot of BBW websites, unfortunately, and I could probably count on like one hand all of the major that do. Well, Brazzers does like a BBW thing too, and like because their fans really like girls with big giant boobs and big giant butts, like both real and fake. But that's kind of like their thing. But so with a BBW, for sure, like their market is gonna be online, on their own accord, 100%. I would say, because I have that really typical kind of like plain, I mean, not plain in a bad way, but just plain in the sense that like I can be dressed up as almost anything.
You're versatile.
Yeah, because I don't have a lot of tattoos, and I keep my hair the same. I don't dye it any colors, and I did pierce my nose, which was pretty crazy for me. And literally nobody has noticed. It's fucking awesome, actually, because I don't want them to notice. And so I think because of that, I am booked for more studio work, because I can play the most roles, and also because when other people cancel last minute, I can fill most roles. So like my last couple of big shoots that I've done were technically the first girl canceled, and I mean, even if I wasn't the first choice, I was maybe the first person they thought of when this other person canceled, which is still good.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Being reliable's also good life advice. Yeah,
Totally.
and I do genuinely like, when I started my career, I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm definitely going to take it all the way, because I don't want to like half-ass it, because I'm going to literally be like online getting fucked for the rest of my life, for the rest of the internet's existence. So,
gonna look good doing it.
well, that, and it is about being the best version of yourself. That's what I call it. But, I want to definitely take it all the way. I want to keep doing studio work and for as long as I can, and also probably transition into my MILF phase at some point.
You're already starting with your shirt.
Yeah, I like the shirt. I like the shirt.
I'm easing people into it. That's another story. But yeah, I'm because I'm 25, and the next month I'm 26. So I'm already kind of in that in between stage.
You're either 18 or you're like 40. I feel like that's how porn works. Like there's no like, oh, you're 30. 40.
You're
Sorry,
like 28. Oh, whatever.
45 MILF. Yeah, there you go.
So it's so I'm kind of in that in between stage. But the best, most prolific, most notable porn stars were the ones, I mean, they at least did studio work for like 10 or more years, sometimes 20 years. And then, of course, after a certain point, they kind of start doing branching out of the adult industry, hopefully. But again, it is a really hard box, hard box to break out of that you put yourself in when you do porn, because people don't see you any other way. They don't take you seriously. So that's why I also think I see a lot of people do stand-up comedy alongside the porn.
That'd be good, yeah.
Maybe because it's an easier transition. It's not like maybe that's what you're going to do for forever, but then it's just you're just slowly getting yourself out of that box and putting yourself into a different light, and then people start seeing you in a different way.
Got it. Okay. That's so that's really interesting. I love what you said. I didn't know about BBW being harder to get studio shoots for. I didn't even think about that.
There's just less scenes to go around for all the BBW models, so there aren't many BBW models in general because of that. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I'm sure it's just super competitive.
Yeah.
Competitive.
It is in general. It is competitive. BBWs actually have a much more likely ability to like come into the adult world and make money because there is not so many BBW girls doing that. You know, being sexual online and having sex, like especially like hardcore porn. So yeah, if you know, and I've talked to a lot of women that are like, well, my body isn't, you know, perfect, or I'm like too heavy, or I'm like this, and I'm like, no, there's a market for everything, okay? And then yeah, women are like, oh, I should have started porn earlier, and now I'm so like older, and I'm like, no, it's a good thing because
40 is perfect.
Yeah, well, and there's way less MILFs than there are the younger women. As far as performers. So BBWs and MILFs actually are going to make more money easier, in my opinion, usually. So don't doubt yourself.
For sure.
If you're considering it.
To be a MILF, don't you have to have a kid?
So,
I mean, in the porn world, you don't, but I was being like, have a kid,
why not?
Rebecca?
We can have a little pit stop there and like talk about it, because that's always something that comes up. And I think you know what, as I get older and I'm like almost 26, and then girls start and they're like 18 and 19 and 20. And no, I literally are their mothers. Like, I mother them. It is an extremely maternal instinct. And also with young men as well, because young men in the industry, men in general, get paid a lot less. So they'll take advantage of that and pay you like really low amounts. So I always tell guys, like, tell me how much they're paying you, because I want to make sure they're not like lowballing you too badly here, you know. But what was I talking about? Dicks and dudes? Oh yeah, so I'm a good mom. Okay, I have a very maternal instinct.
So you have a porn mom? Do you have a porn daughter, or someone who calls you porn mom?
Also, like, is there a ceremony for, like, how do you be like, you're my porn mom now? Like, I'm thinking we were in a fraternity. Like, we got the what is it called? The ritual.
Yeah, there's
that we got a dad. Is there a ritual in the porn industry for that?
Nah.
Also, just really quickly, you said you were sending videos of the puke blowjob. I'm sorry, I'm butchering this. The puke porn to your mom. Why would you do that? Is that what you said?
No, to her.
I thought you said you were sending that to somebody.
I don't think so. If anything, you were talking about maybe.
Never mind.
If anything, you maybe said you were sending it to your
what is
porn
wrong
mom.
with you?
I don't know. I think there's something wrong. I hit my head really hard today. I don't know.
I mean, my mom is really supportive, but no.
No, oh, sorry. I meant your porn mom, not your actual.
Yeah, that's what.
What
no,
the fuck,
that's what I was
dude?
trying to say. I was like,
Oh, did I just say regular mom?
Yeah,
you just said mom, and I thought that you were saying
Because
like
my mom
just her
was
mom.
here last time. So you
Oh,
met
no,
my mom.
God,
You said
no,
hi.
I'm so
She was
sorry.
here. Yeah, that's why I was like, what the fuck's wrong
I'm
with
just
you,
kidding.
dude?
I'm gonna turn my mic off. For
No,
like
I don't
3
do
minutes.
that.
Let's go.
No, I don't
I
fucking do
mean-
that.
Okay, never mind. I'll stop. So, okay. So with Jamie, I would say, oh, okay. I guess it kind of happened because I started dating my boyfriend now, Rex Oliver, and he is really closely works with Jamie a lot, and that's kind of how we met. So my boyfriend knows her super duper well, and so it was kind of an easy transition. But I would say it kind of just happens naturally. You just connect with people, and so you end up making content together because usually people want to make porn with their friends. It's when things get complicated is when you have to go to set or when you're like having to work with someone that you don't know, you know?
Yeah.
When you're when you're working with someone you know, it's usually a lot more fun.
That would make sense.
I would say I've definitely had a few kind of porn sons. It was a little burp. And like guys, and they're not necessarily younger, but sometimes too, yeah, like, because I mean, ultimately I just don't want to see anybody get fucked over, so I don't really, yeah, but I would say my friend Lady Lazarus is probably, I think she's called me her porn mom, actually, but I think she's older than me. But I don't want to say that she has less experience because it's not a lack of experience, but she has like pink hair and a split tongue and lots of tattoos and stuff. So it's different for her. Again, see what I mean? Like she can't play as many roles, but here's the thing. She can. It's just that people have a very small perception of what people think. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, why can't she be a mom? Why can't she be working at a barista at or something in a scene? Like they'll do stuff like, but they'll be like, oh, well, that doesn't make sense. Well, I don't know why not. Like, so, yeah, tunnel vision.
There's like, you're like, when you're casting, people are trying to fit that. Like, what do I think a mom would look like? Like, oh, this is what I have in my head.
Kind of, unfortunately.
And then that's not, there are moms who are, full sleeves and stuff. But like when you're trying to like write a movie, it's a whole, I think what I'm sure just even normal films just have the, or
like a stereotype.
Yeah,
Yes.
have a stereotype that they're trying to fit. Interesting.
Yeah, and also a part of it
Porn
too
is
is
just as guilty.
because and I think part of it too, at least with adult. Well, okay, maybe with real with
I said normal. I said normal food. I misspoke.
Yeah, me too. I did it too. I guess it's the same all around, but
So it sounds like you're kind of going back to where it started. You're a mom in the porn community, not like actually. But that's even better. Like I was just thinking, there's not a lot of like your mom can't relate to you and your job. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't really go to her and be like, "Hey, mom, I have this like porn thing," because she's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Like I kind of have that. I kind of have that with my mom a little bit. My mom's like, "What do you do on social media?" I'm like, "I can't really even talk about it with you because."
It's too much to explain.
What do you know about making a TikTok?
You spend like an hour explaining like the context just to get to the story, so it makes sense because she's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah,
exactly.
At a certain point, you kind of give up, so that's cool. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and like also, just in general, definitely my mom knows more about it, the details, than my dad, but there's definitely limits. You can't overshare, right? But you can definitely overshare with your porn mom,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And shoot some scenes.
Yeah.
True,
It's an interesting dynamic in that sense where you know, maybe that dynamic makes things complicated for a lot of people, because it's really hard for a lot of people, I think, to balance a sexual relationship with someone as well as I guess such a deep relationship as like a mentor / someone you look up to, but you're also having sex with that person. You see how it gets all kind of like complicated.
No, absolutely.
And I think like woman to woman, it's a bit more simple, assuming I guess you're both like super hetero, I guess, or whatever. I mean, I'm pretty gay, but I definitely am not sexually. I mean, I am sexually. I mean, I had sex with Jamie, so I mean, I guess, you know, and I think she's attractive. I think she has great tits. But at the same, I'm not like romantically.
Yes.
See what I mean? And I feel with a
No, I know what you're trying to explain.
Yeah.
Like there's like
complicated
intimacy, but then there's also like your job. Yours just happens to be very similar. And like drawing those lines, I'm sure is.
It's all just.
Yeah. Drawing the lines looks like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's bad.
Train wreck.
It's tough. Yeah, it is. You got to be super good at not only establishing your boundaries, but also maintaining them.
Mm-hmm.
So what's like the toughest thing that you have to deal with in the porn industry? Just for you, not overarching. Like Rebecca Vanguard thinks about this one thing being like the worst part about being in the porn industry.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. You know, like, so lately what feel like I've been dealing with is just like a lot of desensitization from because my sex life became so intertwined with my career and my professional life that my sex life essentially like stopped existing outside of work. And the only time I was having sex was on camera and for work, and like very structured, extremely structured. And now, like it's kind of hard to explain because I still very much enjoy shooting porn, but it has to like definitely be on my terms almost. And that's because I'm just kind of burnt out. So when I go to do it, I want it to be on my time and my pace and my terms, and everybody else participating in the scene. I want them to like clearly know that going into it and make sure they're okay with that, because hey, some people, they need to or like to have things a certain way, or you know, and for a lot of different reasons, and that's fine. So but yeah, I save all of my energy really for my studio shoots, because those are the most draining and hardest to connect with people on. I would I wish I feel like a lack of connection. Like I really want to feel more like close with people, like not just like, I don't know, like, but just in general, you know. I want to feel connected to a person. I want to feel like we're bonding. I want to feel like we're getting along. I want to like make jokes and like laugh together like friends and stuff, because it's just become like so robotic and lacking emotion.
Your boyfriend's in the porn industry as well, correct?
Well, and so this is something I also talk about a lot, and it's actually more common than people would think. And I think people hearing this will be like, oh my God, I feel so much better now because I thought there's something wrong with me, or like I'm not good enough for like a full relationship or something. Like, so I've been with my boyfriend for like 4 or so years, but we stopped having sex a couple of years ago or more. But I still call him my boyfriend, and I'm still his girlfriend. We still live together. We still sleep in the same bed. We still cuddle. We kiss, you know. And also, you know, I won't get into like why we stopped having sex, because, you know, I also like, I have a lot of respect for my boyfriend, so I don't want to like overshare on his behalf. I don't think he would care, and he's probably, I mean, he would never even watch this and know. But I will tell him. I'm not going to hide it
No,
from
I
him.
respect that hella. Like, you don't want it. That's somebody you care about and live with.
And I don't want to emasculate him. Really, I don't. And it's not emasculating. But we don't have sex. We have sex with other people. And we definitely both have really low sex drives as well. So I think that's also why our relationship functions so well. And then also because we both do porn and he's done porn for a long time as well. Yeah, it just changes you, you know, so we're kind of on the same page.
No, I honestly, I oddly love that. In the fact that you guys still, you're like, I feel like a lot of relationships base the success of it based off of how many times they're having sex.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that becomes a huge problem. But from the sounds of it, you guys have thoroughly communicated something that makes your relationship work.
Yeah, exactly. And at first it started where I was obviously still having sex with my boyfriend as well and having sex with other people because we were in an open relationship, but he was like my main partner, obviously. And then slowly from there, yeah. But wait. What was your question?
It wasn't really a question. I was more trying to label, like, you. Number one, I appreciate you opening up about your relationship on here. That's like, that is something. We got a lot of dickhead people from the last podcast, which sounds to be
Curious.
Seems to be the thing. I mean, that happens all over.
What
Everybody
did they say?
has such.
I don't get any hate comments. I really don't.
Well, it's okay.
I mean, I've read some pretty crazy. It's fine. I can handle it.
Don't go through the TikTok that blew up.
Oh
There
my
was
god!
so
Of course,
many
TikTok
that's
is
what I'm
the
saying.
worst for comments. Oh, 13-year-old shitheads can fuck right off, dude. Oh, it's so cringy.
The people who like talk shit about sex work and are probably like consuming
The
sex
most
work
fucking
content
Yeah.
ever.
all the time. It's like, fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
I hate them. And opening up about, like, I just know people are going to talk shit about that. But and I appreciate you opening up about it and like being vulnerable about it, because it's not the norm. But
People are so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. It's not embarrassing at all, actually, because my boyfriend literally lives with a beautiful porn star, is best friends with a beautiful porn star. We go to bed in the same bed together, and at the same time also gets to have sex with other women. And these women are, I mean, some of these women are everything that I'm not. Come on, think about that. What man gets to, he's having sex, shooting content with, young girls, girls that are way more famous than I am, or whatever you want to measure it, right? And like,
Well, same with you, the inverse,
Yeah,
You're doing the same thing.
True. And I get to work with like the most beautiful men and women on the planet, in my opinion. And I try to stay always super grateful for that, because it's so easy for people to just be like, whatever. It doesn't, but it's like not, it's a privilege, and you can't forget that. So really it's not it's not embarrassing at all. My boyfriend gets the best of both worlds. Are you fucking kidding me? He gets a relationship.
He still fucks.
And he still gets to fuck whoever he wants and to have a relationship.
people will shit on that type of stuff because it's not the norm. But like, if you think about I can't tell you how many people I've like run into recently. That bus party we went on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to
Ran
do
into
that.
someone I haven't seen in a while, and they were telling me about a friend who like got married in college, that we like, a mutual friend who I hadn't spoken to, who's like, husband after a year couldn't keep his dick in his pants and was hooking up with other girls, and they had to get a divorce, and she was open to the open relationship, but then eventually had to get a divorce. And like, you guys have not necessarily accepted that, but just been like, hey, this is how a relationship works the best. And the fact that people will shit on it is just annoying, because it's like, number one, it has nothing to do with you, and number two, in a lot of ways, it probably works a lot better than their shitty relationship.
Yeah.
Well, you both have like the same, probably like have like the same feeling and experience of you get home from work where you're having sex, and like you're just exhausted from your work, and then like at the end of the day, like having sex like intimately can just be like, I just don't have the energy. And like, I think if one of you wasn't in the industry, like wouldn't get that. and like wouldn't have like the understanding of like, yes, like, you know, like there could be like well, you have like sex all day, like why do you have sex now? And it's just like, I think that doesn't happen because you both get that, like you get home from work and you're like, holy shit, I'm tired. Like I don't want to do that. Like I just, you know, I want to fucking go to bed.
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. That's exactly it. And then, but
your guys' relationship seems really focused around almost like the love piece of it. Like, I want to cuddle with you because I want that like human.
Yeah, and you can find intimacy in like the different things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like intimacy, I guess sex is like the peak of intimacy, but it also becomes like the problem of intimacy. But I mean, with your guys' jobs, you don't have that.
I don't know. That's an interesting statement. What is like the peak of intimacy? Like, what is the ultimate intimacy? Is it, at this point, I almost start to wonder if it's actually not sex at all. If like the most deepest intimate moments that we share with others are actually like non-sexual, maybe.
Is there a difference between like I'm trying to think about this because I do think you're right. Is there a different perception of what is the peak of intimacy? Because every relationship, like it almost, you know, when you're boyfriend and girlfriend with someone, like what's the one thing that you can only do with that person in theory, considering a traditional relationship? Sex. And do you see what I'm saying? I like what you're saying about the intimacy thing because it might be more like subconscious. The intimacy is just, hey, having somebody to tell how your day went at the end of the day. I don't know what is if you don't think sex is like the peak intimacy thing in a relationship, what is it in your mind, or what should it be?
I guess like just thinking about this all, I would say my most intimate moments with a man usually are like, fuck. I'd have to think about that.
That was a good question. I was thinking about it in my head.
I'm sorry.
That's a good question.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it because I was low-key sitting here like, do I sound like a fucking crackhead? Like,
No. No, I see what you're saying. Like as in like sex, like in like, I would say a lot of relationships, like that's the one thing, like you were saying, that you don't do with other people.
Yeah.
Whereas in like your case,
when that's not the thing,
when that's
then
not
what
the
is
thing,
it?
what's the thing?
Yeah. Fuck. Wow. Okay. You know what? Let me say this. So, in an open relationship or like poly or whatever, like for me, like I just, it's like the most amazing feeling just knowing I can trust my boyfriend, and like it's just the most overwhelmingly comforting and loving feeling. Like no, I just know that like it's me, and the choice is always me for him, and I don't ever doubt that and second guess that, but you have to like build up to that and establish that, and like and now that we have that, it's like it's him. Yeah, it's fuck. Damn.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah, and people, I just wish more people could feel that and like let themselves be open to feeling that, because I think in a relationship, the extracurricular activities that you guys do both together and without each other strengthen the bond and strengthen the trust that you have. Because imagine that, like, okay, you're hypothetically afraid that your boyfriend is going to cheat on you, but what if you were in a situation with your boyfriend where he had the opportunity to technically, let's say, quote unquote, cheat on you, but he didn't? Then that would never be something that you would have to worry about ever again, because you just saw it unravel right in front of you. Like, my boyfriend, we're at a swingers party or we're at an orgy and we're going to have sex with other people or something. And, you know, but he chose to have sex with me and this other girl or this other person instead of, does that I don't
No,
know.
I see what you're
Things
saying.
like that. Things like that
Yeah.
are like
Yeah.
really intimate and beautiful and like the ultimate form of trust. I don't know.
Well, I was thinking about it too. Like you're being chosen. Like he doesn't live with like other people. You know, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't spend his free time per se with like someone else like regularly besides like you.
Right.
So
Well,
like that's like it's like you being chosen as like the first round pick every.
yeah, polyamory. No. It's
Sorry, I'm a straight
I love
like
that. I
white
love
guy.
that.
Like this like sports.
Yo, Rebecca
fantasy draft.
Yeah.
Oh my-
what do they call
Oh my
it? When
God.
it's like not
March-
only first round, but
March
like
Madness before porn. Wow.
Yeah, we should do like a fantasy football team, but
Yes.
with porn stars.
Yeah.
that'd be
Yes.
crazy. I love that.
Brains firing on full cylinders.
First
Yes.
off, like I love this conversation. Like, thank you for being so open and willing to parse through, or
Yeah.
I don't think that's the right way to put
and
it.
like
but,
articulate
yeah.
just like I would say not. I feel like just like explaining like your relationship, because I think a lot of times here's like the template, but like there is no template.
Yeah.
Like your relationships, there are no template.
Yeah.
Like obviously there's like similarities, but I think sometimes it's hard for people to realize that your relationship, anyone's relationship can be very unique.
Yeah, it can be different from the template that is you see this person, only have sex with them, like boyfriend and
Monogamy.
girlfriend, fiance,
have two
marry.
kids.
Yeah, have two
Buy
kids.
a house, the nuclear family.
Get a
Right,
401k,
right.
like all that. And
Well, get a 401k for sure, but
I guess that'd be kind of an intro. True. But it doesn't have to be like I actually don't really know. But don't your 401ks
don't even get
or like
into it.
IRAs?
Don't
like
even
that?
get in-
Okay, yeah,
don't
we're
even
not
get into
we're
it.
not finance bros. Guess that kind of weaves in. What is? Have you ever thought of like the future? Would you ever get married to this guy, or just married in general? Do you want kids? Is there? I saw Mike Malak's vlog with Lana Rhoades and her kid. Dude,
What?
she looked. Yeah.
What?
Lana Rose has. Oh,
What?
does she have a young kid?
How
Like
old
She
is
has
it?
she has
like a baby.
2-year-old kid.
Oh, okay,
Oh, it's
that makes
two
sense.
now? I knew she was like
It-
Priggers. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm
Hey,
terrible.
those are people's pronouns now, so it's
It
fine.
is, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just fucking your shit up.
No, you're good.
What's
I know what I'm
someone's
doing.
Pronouns?
It is a pronoun.
It.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
was on
It's
like
fine.
my like HR
Also, I'm
site
gonna
or
stop
something, and I
now.
was scrolling through all the pronouns, and I was like, holy shit, I gotta
I gotta
catch
educate,
up.
yeah.
I gotta catch up. I was like,
Well-
whoa.
Okay, but also calling a baby it is just
Hilarious.
unironically funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
that's
like,
true, actually.
Yo, what it like? It's an object.
Yeah.
Anyways, I saw her with her kid, and I was watching that vlog, just being like, bro, like this girl is just like peak happiness. Like, got out of the industry, made her bag, and is just living it up with this kid right now. And I was like, kind of happy for her. And it was a very wholesome vlog. They just took a kid like to a toy shop and bought him a toy. Is that the future you see? Is there something different? Have you thought of? You could also be like, fuck you, I haven't ever thought about it.
How dare you?
How dare you ask me about my future? Are you my
Yeah.
dad?
Don't make me think
Yeah,
more than
you're
2 weeks in
stressing me
advance. Fuck you.
Yeah, you're stressing me out. No, I think like what you were saying earlier, Zemmy, is just like people also like. How can you have my perspective when you've never like had a non-monogamous relationship? So they're able to get the perspective and a realistic perspective and experience without actually doing it or living it, and they can open up people's minds to, just like you said, different kinds of templates of relationships, different templates. So actually, oddly enough, I feel like. For now, me and my boyfriend live together, and I think that I had the realization a long time ago, and it was still hard, but I kind of had the realization that, you know what, there is probably another person out there who's a more suitable partner for my boyfriend, because we don't have sex, and also other reasons, but I think that this relationship that we have together is simply like a stepping stone into both of own relationships in which we will probably have sex with our partners again. But for now, we're just like very happy together and want to keep living together and are best friends. But I imagine someday, because my goal is I would like a relationship where a boyfriend that we do have sex. And I also think my boyfriend wants that too. It sounds so crazy, and just I just don't know which will happen first. And I imagine that the day that
We'll bleep it out. You're good.
We'll beep it.
I'm so bad at that.
No, you're good. No worries. We'll beep it.
That my boyfriend will. There will be a time that my boyfriend will, and he'll meet someone else that is a better girlfriend for him, and I can admit that. But obviously when it starts to happen, it's like a whole other story, right? That's still going to be very painful. And then like maybe we won't live together anymore, maybe we will still live together, and she'll move in with us, right? And I don't know, then I imagine I would move into the other bedroom, because now what happens is we live in the same house, we have a apartment, we have a 2-bedroom 2-bathroom loft, so his office is upstairs, so he has a decent amount of privacy. And I'll just have people over, and like the second bedroom is like my room, my work room, where I shoot and cam and like make art and whatever. But also it's like my room. So I'll have people over, and like boys will spend the night occasionally, and I'll like stay in the bed with them. And that used to be like a hard limit for us when we were like still having sex, I think, where my boyfriend.
You're doing so good. You're hitting my boyfriend every time.
I think it's just
now
like
you're in your
the
head.
easier
Now
way.
you're in your head.
Yeah, I just want to explain the story in a way that is easiest for people to follow.
You're good. If you ever say it,
Audio.
don't worry, my boy David he's got you. Don't worry.
Thanks, David. I think my hold on, just give me a second. So he oh yeah, and that used to be a hard limit for us. Like he didn't really want me to have sleepovers or cuddle with other partners or people in my life. But I think we also kind of came to the realization that my boyfriend isn't a really big cuddler, and I like to cuddle a lot, and he can't really sit still long enough all the time to cuddle. So then I did start cuddling with other people, and then sleepovers and everything. But and then I also like when I first started having sleepovers, it was at other people's houses, and then I asked him, like, I brought it up first and was like, this is what I want to do. And I think it was a little upsetting for him, and I think it hurt him initially and made him sad, but he knows deep down, he's like, well, I don't want to do that shit, so I can't really be mad at her for right? Like, well, I'm not going to stop. I don't want to stop what I'm doing and go lay down for like an hour and hold my girlfriend. Like, his ADHD is raging, I guess, and just can't, which, I don't know, sometimes I can't really sit still either, but I'm not as bad as him, for God's sakes. So, and like when I go to bed at night, I like to be held and stuff. Like, honestly, it was a really rough transition, actually. We had a really rough transition, but he never gave up on me, and we were still there for each other. And that's really something I've never had before. So it's going to take someone really, 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 really fucking special for me to like have this again with someone else, right?
Good. I love that. I think it is so incredibly self-aware for you. I thought you were going to be like, there's someone else out there for me, but for you to say there's definitely someone else out there for him is like, most girls wouldn't fathom saying that, but it's probably true for a lot of girls.
Or just like anyone.
Of girls.
Or like any.
And dude, sorry, I should clarify.
No.
Girls and guys, that would be I'm thinking like the girls that I was dating heavily into, for me to say that, oh my God, I would have to be like on meth. I can't imagine, like, even
I'm not being nice.
being able to come to that realization just sounds like very healthy.
Mature.
And mature. I don't know if healthy is the right way to put it, but just like being realistic with yourself, like not living in a fantasy world where like everything works and everything should be perfect. It's like, no, it's not perfect.
And so over the course of these like 4 or more years that we've been together, yeah, it wasn't always this easy, I guess. There were definitely really, really, really rough times where I almost left the house, where we didn't live together, where we did actually officially break up, and just it was chaos. But I think the first time I had that realization, it did kind of make me uncomfortable. But yeah, I'm trying to remember how it made me feel when I first really had that realization. Because, yeah, people, don't get me wrong. At first, I was definitely thinking about myself, and I was like,
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah, that's totally understandable.
and I was like, well, okay, there's definitely someone out there who's probably better for me. Because, like, for a while there, I was just like, yeah, I love my boyfriend. Like, he's the best man I've ever met. But then I'm like, then you also have the realization, like, it gets better than this, actually. And that's kind of crazy. You shouldn't limit yourself like that. You know, it gets better. It can get better. But yeah, it was an uncomfortable feeling, and like thinking about him loving someone else as much as he loved me. You know, that's definitely a hard pill to swallow. But yeah, wow.
And I mean, I'm making an assumption here, but it sounds like you guys have excellent communication.
I was gonna say that too.
I think I'm better at it than he is, but for sure.
Well, I mean, also too, over 4 years, it's a long time.
No, totally.
You sneak some time to talk in there, you know.
yeah, for sure.
But what I was gonna say is, I think too, the way I think about like my relationship is like what I define as perfect and like beautiful, and as like what makes me happy is like I think people sometimes think like, oh, I can, you know, like do better, and like there's like you know, like there's always someone more like attractive, there's always someone more funny, there's always someone more caring,
young,
but like yeah, or like there's so many things that like you can like want that other people are better at than you. But I think the person at the end of the day, for me, that like I can go home to, or I can sit with and not want to just like stab like that, like that's huge. Or like that you can just like that you like you're excited to see them like after a long like, you know, full day of work, you come home and like just existing with them is comfortable. Like so I think it goes a long way too to just realize that, you know, there are people that you can find someone, the person that you want to find is the person that when you're just like drained, like at the worst of your worst, you can still be with them and not, you know, go crazy.
Yeah.
Because like during like
get away.
Yeah, like obviously at that, like you can be during the like the peaks, like it's easy to be with anyone, but like during the valleys, it's hard to be with.
Yeah.
Like there's very few people that like I personally can be with in those valleys. So
Right.
like I want to make sure like obviously like my significant other, like when I'm in those valleys, is someone that is on that list of, you know, I can still ride with you.
And I want to say this too, because so we're talking about, you know, all this openness and everything and da. But another aspect of it is the exact opposite. Is there are 100% people out there that I think are genuinely monogamous people, and that's what they want, and that's what their partner wants. They genuinely don't have all of these extra urges to, you know, like, I don't know, have sex with other people. Like some people, they're like, well, I love you, and so I want to have sex with you. Why would I want to have sex with someone that I don't love? I guess like because that's how sex is supposed to be. You're supposed to have sex with people that you are in love with, and then you do things like I do, and your whole fucking shit gets turned upside down, you know. But yeah. So I also don't want people, like, I think too, it's like almost people are like feel like they're forced to like be open about it or something. I was like, no. Like if you just, that's every time it comes up in conversation or every time you think about it, you just don't relate to it, then don't force yourself to do it, because it's what's popular right now is to be in an open relationship, or like more people are having polyamorous relationships or something, because trust me, there's totally someone out there for you that's just wants to be with you, man. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna roll into like a thing about privacy, like we were like talking about like being like open, communicative, and in a relationship, and I thought you were gonna start talking about like privacy and like you can have your own privacy, and then it made me laugh because in my head, like the one thing that I like in my relationship keep like very like like very I don't want to be there is like when we go to the bathroom. Like I know sometimes I know some couples like are like, yeah, I don't care, like just take it. Like I'm like, no, I'm gonna, you're good. I don't need to be like, if I'm gonna shower, I'm just like, yeah, I'll wait. Like I'm good.
That's so
or
funny.
I'll like close the door. I'm
shit.
like, nah, like I like yeah, like I gotta go to the bathroom, like get out of here. And I think my girlfriend is like the same way, and I think it's just like the dumb thing that of like privacy, but like we're both on
But
that.
it works.
Yeah, and like other relationships, I definitely haven't been like that, and I was always just like, okay, so like I'm gonna take like a fatty, like I do not want you in here, or like I guess I can't now because like you're here, like it's fine, I'll wait for later. But yeah, that's where my head went when you started talking about privacy a little.
I'm not like that.
You're not like that?
I care less, bro. I'm like, I'll figure out a way to make it funny, you know? She'll like go to the bathroom while I'm like taking a shower. I'm like, yes, girl, drop that stinky.
Oh my God.
You know, I was like,
that's like me and you for sure. Sheesh.
but like that's like when you were talking about monogamous, that's how I feel like I am, but I've also not been in a super long-term monogamous relationship. So I also don't really know how I'm going to feel after like a year, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of when I tap out, you know?
I think that's everybody's like big question, you know?
Exactly. And like kind of the build up right now is like the next relationship I get in, if it's long-term, is kind of going to be like, is that going to be like the last one? Which I'm kind of pissed about. I'm like, I didn't get to go through that like 3-year. This was, I mean, obviously it would suck, but this is like the shitty relationship where you learn things and you learn more about yourself. I've really not had that. So,
Wow.
but
I feel
Good
like
for
you
you.
kind of have, like you've had like girlfriends, you're like, yeah, fuck that.
yeah, but
They didn't like totally crush your soul and like make you want to kill yourself? Well, just
no, they
keep it real.
did. They definitely
Oh.
did. But I think the difference is like the level of connection, right? Because damn, this is gonna be hard and set. Like I don't want to identify any of them. He knows a lot of them. Most of my relationships have ended after like anywhere between like 2 to 3 months, which is when you're in that honeymoon phase.
Yeah,
And
makes total sense.
all of them were her breaking it off with me.
What?
Yeah. So.
But what was the reason though? Was it like
Oh,
actual
shit.
reasons? We don't gotta go through them, but like, what were they
Ooh.
bullshit or were they legitimate?
Here's the thing. Some of them I'm not 100% sure. Like, okay, one of them, she broke up with me while she was studying abroad in Spain. That one, the more I think about it, I think she just wanted to bop around in Spain, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Some good looking people in Spain.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair.
Well,
Exactly. She was also a little Spanish, Mexican gal, so she knew Spanish. And, like, I honestly, I don't blame her, but I'm like, fuck you.
okay. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, another one, I don't want to, like, get super into it. Like, another one, just anxiety, couldn't handle a relationship at the time. The one that, you know who I'm talking about, the gal that you knew because
Yeah.
she's
Yeah,
from
yeah.
here. That was, like, on and off. That one's the one I learned the most about. I think that's what you're talking about. Because that one spanned over a year, but we were never, like,
Yeah.
official for probably
Okay.
longer than,
Yeah.
like...
Yeah.
If we added up the time we were official, it maybe added up to 4 months.
That's fair.
Maybe.
That's fair.
That's being generous. And yeah, and that one I kind of cut off, kind of not. She moved
Mutual,
away. It
kinda
was
mutual.
yeah. And I got to a point where I was like, yeah, I don't want this kind of thing. But I have never had that, like, you're in a 2-year long relationship and you've kind of gotten over the honeymoon phase, and now it's what you were talking about, which is like, this is my person that I come home to every single day. And I think that's when you learn. Or maybe not, I mean, not even learn, but kind of just are like, okay, how do I feel about this? Like, you know, am I a monogamous person where it's like, I can only have sex with this person and I'm okay with that for the rest of my life? Or is there the little horny brain kicking in where you're like, honestly, like,
okay, for one, I don't think you know until you're there, and it depends on the person. Because there's a part of me that's like, yeah, I could easily be in another relationship that's open and still love them and have sex with them. And then I think about, I'm like, well, if it was like the right guy or the right person or whatever, then maybe I would be monogamous with them. But actually, so I'm truly open to both. And so, yeah, it's really situational. But I wanted to say, it sounds like it was never really anything to do with you that you were broken up with. Usually, like, I think that's the hardest. Yeah, that's a good thing. Applause. Oh, you're doing that.
I mean,
I like it.
It's
no,
hard
that's a
because I
good
don't
thing.
know. You know what I'm saying?
But no.
Wait,
no,
what was
no,
the question? I totally missed it. Sorry.
It's not a question.
would
She
you-
was labeling
So-
like it doesn't sound like it was ever.
They didn't
me
say
necessarily.
I'm leaving
Oh.
you because you did this or you said that or
It's not you, it's me.
yeah, but that's actually way better because the harder what you're like, okay, what's hard for you is you're not really sure if you're getting the full reason and you just kind of want the real 100% reason because it'll give you like better closure and understanding, which therefore will lead to better acceptance and for you to move on faster. But I think it's better because, well, okay, maybe they're lack of compatibility, I guess, can be like on both parties. So like maybe that's the one thing you could say was technically your fault was maybe they just a lack of compatibility on your end with them, I guess, maybe. But it sounds like I mean, my point is, it's a lot harder for a person to be like, okay, I'm leaving you because you fucking suck. Or like, you're a mess and you're ruining my fucking life, bro. Yeah, instead of that, because I think that would have probably affected you. That's when people start to sometimes change for the worse as well, because sometimes people are telling you things that aren't really accurate. They're just fucking angry and they want to be out of the relationship, and people don't communicate well and they say things they don't really mean, or they don't really understand what they're saying when they say it, you know?
That's true.
So
Or they're like manipulative and it is on them, but they're blaming it on you.
yeah.
This is insane. First off, I want to say you really are a MILF because right now you're like my mom. Like, you're giving me all that relationship advice.
Yeah.
I love this. Can you be my porn mom? Please?
Yes.
I love that. No, I think it's definitely. Well, he knows the girls I tend to attract are a little like when you said when you explained your porn daughter. I kind of tried to look at Zemmy because what you explained is kind of exactly my type, which is like a little like angsty, like alt girl, probably has some like daddy mommy issues they haven't sorted out, which I don't know if that's true of your porn daughter, but just in general, I gave Zemmy a little look. I thought we were going to connect on that, but you just didn't.
It's like, why are you looking at me?
But I tend to go after those girls, and then it ends in the exact same ways. So in a lot of ways, I'm just not learning. But
Okay.
I do think in my little anxiety brain is like, is there something wrong with me? I just don't know. Like they never told me, or did they not have the communication skills to vocalize it? Because I also understand that I'm a very hard person to be with. I am very like, ask Zemmy. I will work all the time if I need to because I love what I do and I prioritize it. And kind of I've been thinking about this a lot. Like, I would be a terrible person to date right now because I love my routine right now where like I center it all around work and like weaving in like, hey, you got to go do date night with somebody tonight, or like going and doing something other than just like ending up in the same spot at the night to like eat together, cuddle together is very intrusive to my lifestyle, and I would not be happy about it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. You would be like, this is like a waste of your time in a nice way, basically. But maybe not entirely. But
Well, maybe
you'd
it's more
rather
not
be
like a
doing something
waste,
else.
but just like how you would want to be spending your time.
Yeah, you'd rather
Yeah.
be doing.
I would have a lot of anxiety around it.
like,
I
you
would
should be doing something better.
Yes. And I think if I love, hey, what does our week look like? If you expect me to be at a big event or you want my time, I will absolutely give it to you. But the second I'm kind of like, I feel like you're asking for too much of my time, I think that's where I would. And also, I feel like my idea of like how much quality time we need together is like very different than
Yeah.
what somebody else would think. And there may be somebody who's on the same page as me.
Well, yeah, I mean, the fact that you know what that is, I think, is good. You're not going to expect someone. You're not going to be with someone who doesn't know that that's the expectation.
That's true.
Or you wouldn't be. Yeah, you wouldn't. Basically, what I said, you wouldn't have that
Yeah.
expectation, or you'd give that expectation in the beginning of the relationship. And knowing that about yourself is huge, because going into a relationship, not knowing that about yourself, and then that's not fair to that person. So
Yeah. That's kind of, I love, first off, you guys are both my therapists. Right
welcome
now.
to the Sarby's dating podcast.
I love it too, because we started off talking about the porn industry, but kind of we like branched off. And I'm sure when you go on, and even our last podcast was very like, okay, like Johnny Sins, like porn, like does size matter? But I don't know, this is kind of a lot more wholesome. And I love that we're touching on things that are a little outside of the porn industry, but also have their, I guess, connections.
Yeah, I think it's because relationships are definitely very intertwined with sex work.
Yeah.
Basically.
Totally. Totally. That all stemmed from me asking, like, what's the number one thing from
Peak intimacy.
no, I was talking, the question I asked was like, what's the number one struggle that you have with the
Oh yeah,
porn industry?
That's how,
Kind of wrapping it all back together to that's something Zemmy and I are terrible at is, okay, where did we start from? Where did this tangent come from? Cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Cool.
We did. We went around 360.
We did. Hey, how much time do you have? Because we could sit here and talk to you forever. Do you got to wrap up at any time? I know you have a flight to catch eventually.
So my flight takes off at 11, and I have
Tonight?
Yeah, 11
Oh, wow.
p.m.
Okay, cool. It's like 6.
Are you a person who gets to the airport like super early or right when your plane's leaving?
I always.
There are both people in this world. It's insane.
I missed my flight for the first time in my entire life because I never check a bag because I'm kind of like, I don't want to be there for longer than I need to be. And because I'm checking a bag, I need to be there like 2 hours, probably at least like 2 hours, hour and a half. Because what happened was I was there, freaking Sun Country ass bitches. They're way bigger here in the Midwest, I can tell. They're like the Sun Country terminal in LAX is like one desk.
It's tiny. It's tiny.
Yeah, I bet, because you go back and forth. But here it's like huge. So they and the terminal, their gate was like so far away. I had to like get on a bus because like LAX is so big, you know. So it kind of makes sense. But I was there like 5:05. My plane took off at 6 p.m. and they were like, yeah, we can't check your bag. It's too late. So you either go on through TSA without the bag, and I was gonna have my friend come pick me back up, and take my bag. And I almost just left without my bag because I'm coming home. Like I have everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could borrow my
Is that coming
friend's
here
clothes.
this trip?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I came.
Oh,
I had to leave.
I get it.
I had to leave the next morning, and now so because of that, now I'm traumatized, and I don't want to miss my plane tonight at 11. Because if I do, then I'm so actually fucked. Actually, I'm so fucked.
I'll one up you on travel stories. So I royally fucked up one of mine recently last weekend. So I've been me and a group of people, we found really good tickets to Europe, like super cheap, like they're like $500. Yeah. I'm sure you paid more coming LAX here like than that. Now it's like round trip, like the full thing. Yeah. So we snagged on those, and my girlfriend calls me and she's like, "Here's the deal. You have like maybe like a day to make this decision, but I found these tickets to Europe. A bunch of people are going. Like, do you want in?" And I was like, "Well, why do I have a day?" She's like, "It's gonna go up. Like I'm calling everyone." And I was like, "Okay." And so I was like, "Fuck it. Like I'll just drop the money." So I have her. We're like on the phone. I'm like booking all the flights, and I got it. And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And it was a little more for me, but still like round trip to Europe, like under $600. Fuck yeah. So fast forward like 2 or 3 months, I'm with all my friends. We're booking our hostels and just kind of like actually getting the groundwork started and stuff. And I wasn't really paying attention like to the whole thing because like everyone like brought a laptop and I was like, I didn't bring a laptop, so I'll just sit here and like I don't really care where I stay. It's more like what I do that like I would like to have like an opinion on. And we have like the cities already laid out, so it's just like finding like a roof and a bed. So I don't really care. But at the end, I was kind of zoned out the whole time. At the end, someone mentioned just like coming back on Sunday and then maybe taking like the Monday off of work just to like recuperate.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why that was hard for me. But either way, I looked at my phone. I was like, yeah, maybe I should do that too. And I looked and my flight got back on Monday. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, we get back on Monday. And I like asked her, I was like, do you guys like, what? Well, didn't you take Monday off? And I was like, I didn't take Monday off. That's kind of weird. And they're like, well, we get back Sunday. Like, and I like was looking at my phone. I was like, well, no, mine says I get back Monday. And I just like was like, are you fucking kidding me? And I go into the app, I look, and I bought the wrong flight back home with like, and we all bought them together, and we're doing a layover in Iceland because we're going Iceland Air, and you can extend your layover for free. And I bought the wrong flight. So like when they're leaving Brussels, I still had one more day. And then like I would be following them that next day. But the fucked up part is I bought the right times. Like my times of my flight are the exact same as everyone else's, but my flight number is different.
Oh my God.
No, but my flight number is also the same. The flight number was the same and the times were the same, and then it was just the dates. I had the wrong dates in, and I was like, what the fuck?
That's something I would do for sure.
I was so pissed. I like went upstairs, I called the people, they're like, yeah, it's $1,200 to fix.
No!
And I was like, are you kidding? Like, that's double what I paid for the entire thing. And I just like walked downstairs and like everyone's like, are you good? I was like, I'm going the fuck home. Like I can't believe that I just fucked this up like that bad. Like I was so pissed, and I felt I had to like I had like a couple other things I did that day, and like afterwards I called my girlfriend. I was like, all right, so like I'm actually like I'm not mad. I just like can't believe I'm this stupid. Like I just like couldn't even like I couldn't process like a solution because I was just so mad at myself. But we ended up, she pushed her flight back. It was cheaper, but it was still just like.
Oh, so she could stay with you, and then
yeah,
everyone goes
and now
home
we're
early?
in Europe like by ourselves. So like it worked out, but it was just more
Okay.
than I'd like to pay to have that happen because like
Yeah.
I was just pissed that
That
the flight
sucks.
numbers were the same. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like
Like, it was the
change the
same
flight
plane?
number.
It was
Yeah,
the
it's the
same
same company, same times, just different days.
Because that makes sense. That happens. They'll run the same flights
Yeah, I
regularly.
just would have thought
right?
they would have like flipped up the number of like the
That's
I don't
what
know.
I'm kind of tripping on right now, but
Everyone
that's-
afterwards like was checking their flights. They're like, holy shit, did we do that? Like, it's that
Yeah.
easy. I wish you could just like, you can like QR code scan things. I wish like someone's trip could have its QR code and you could just scan it and then like buy the exact same thing. Because I'm sitting there.
That'd be crazy.
Or else you have to buy them all together.
Affiliate.
That's what
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Is my person like literally just bought it all.
Yeah, and then you just
and then
Venmo and
yeah,
shit.
yeah. So it's right.
Yeah.
It's tough.
So
Can
yeah,
sit next to each other on the
airlines
plane.
suck. Then it's like if you wanted to check the bag, I mean you didn't even have the option, but I'm sure if it was like if there was a way to pay to check your bag, pay more. They'd be like, yeah, it's like $500 if you want to check it late, and you'd be like, for a fucking bag, like come on, like it's ridiculous.
Airline companies are so shit. I do have to say, like my mom is kind of that like you go to a restaurant and have bad service and she'll like say something to the waiter and it's like definitely not their fault and it's like really embarrassing, but that also helps for like stuff like that where one time my sister had to, I can't remember why, but she had to like change her flight or she booked the wrong flight or whatever, and she called the airline company and they're like, that's gonna be like $200 extra, and my sister was like, oh, like okay, I'll just like plan around it. My mom like called. She's like, no,
No, they
gonna
will.
yeah,
They
she's-
did that. I was like, I can't afford that. And they're like, well, let me see what I can do. And it went from like 400 something to like 100 something.
Yeah,
And I'm like, what the fuck? You fuck.
Well,
I didn't
my
get that.
mom is great because she just goes in and she's like, yeah, you're going to change this. And they're like, no, I don't think we can. She's like, figure out a way. And then they figure out a way. So a lot of it, I think, too, is like a lot of those employees are so unhappy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think they give a fuck.
Yeah.
do you remember when I visited before when I was moving back here and I wanted to check out some apartments and we had that huge snowstorm and my bag got lost and whatever. And I remember talking to that employee and I was just like this much nice to her, just being like, it's fine. I get it. Shit happens. And she was like, you have no idea what this means to me. Like, everyone's been yelling at me, screaming at me as if this is my fault. And it's not. And not only that, but like the airline companies, like they don't give a shit. They're like, you know what? Our employees are borderline getting hazed. Not our problem. Doesn't cut into the profit. That's so fucked up.
Yeah.
So fucked up.
Yeah.
So on one hand, I can't blame them. But yes, if you really push, they'll be like, I just want this person to shut the fuck up.
I do it nicely though, but yes, I do. Well, I just remember I was on the phone and I'm like, oh, I said it was for my job because it was for work and I needed to change my flights. And I was just like, oh, I can't pay an extra, $450 to change my flights because my job was essentially canceled or like rescheduled. Right. And I just like, I can't afford that. I don't know what to do. And I guess he just took pity on me, but you know what? Okay. I will say, let me say this much. I am hungry, and I do want to eat.
Oh yes, 100%.
So, but before I leave, I do want to share one story because it's absolutely fucking hilarious.
Yes.
So this has to be in the podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's relevant.
All right, we'll turn the cameras on now and stuff.
Yeah. Everything's recording.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna restart your camera.
Okay.
This is a great dad joke. Thanks.
You're welcome. Got you.
And you're our daddy Zemmy, right? On Instagram?
Yeah,
Zem Daddy.
Zem
Yeah,
Daddy.
Zem Daddy.
We did get that shit rolling again.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah.
Yes. So on the way back, my mom drove me back, and we were. Okay, I smoke weed, and my mom smokes weed, and
That's so sick.
That's so cool.
Sorry, I had to throw that
gets
in there.
better. It
I
gets
would love
better.
to get fucking toked with my mom. Oh god.
Actually, I have some pretty epic videos of us with this. Like, I bought this triple joint thing to hold 3 joints at once to smoke out of it because I was bored. Well, there's nothing to do here, and I'm visiting my family and friends. So in Sioux Falls.
That's one of I feel like fun things about like smoking is just like getting dumb creative with it. Just like how can I do the same thing but like differently?
Yeah, or just like extra hard.
Yeah,
like
I'm gonna go
more.
like insane.
Want more. So we're driving back and we're smoking weed in the car, and me being the addict, I guess that I am, all the weed was gone. We smoked all the weed. We had just finished smoking all the weed, and we're driving back, and we get pulled over. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening right now. And so on the way back, so my mom is going through menopause and she gets heat flashes. Mm-hmm. So we were in the car and her pants were uncomfortable. So she took off her pants.
Oh my God.
In the car.
No.
And as we're getting pulled over, like she looks down and she's like, oh my God, I forgot my pants are off. And the cop's like walking up. Did I tell you this? I think I told
This is
Teresa.
so funny.
It was so fun. Only my mom, dude. Only my mom. So she quick pulls on her pants because they come up on both sides. Or no, like another cop rolled up, whatever. And yeah, they're like, it smells like weed in here. And can we search the car? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, wait,
Joke's on you. It's all fucking gone.
No, like for real though. And I was like, wait, what if there's nothing left in there? I just was honest with him before he even looked. I was like, I smoked it all. Like it's gone.
I swear to God,
that shit is gone, brother.
Can I still get in trouble? And like, no, nothing ended up happening, by the way. But he's like, I'm standing there. They're searching the car because they have us separated. Obviously, me and my mom.
Did your mom get her pants back on?
Yeah, she
Good.
did have her
Good for
pants
her.
back on in time.
Did they see her? Like, did they catch her like on the last like her pulling up her pants?
Probably a little.
I thought
bit,
that would have
yeah.
been like your guys' out was like they pull up and like she just has her pants off and they're like, you guys are just going a little too fast. Like slow down and just kind of like walk away.
Slow down and get some pants on. I guess.
Yeah.
It's ma'am, please. Wear pants while you drive. I was driving. She was in the passenger side. Mm-hmm. So, and they're searching the car, and the cop looks over at me, and he's like, "So, you were smoking weed with your mom?" And I was like, and I made a face like that, kind of. And he's like, I mean, I'm not trying to like, and I'm like, oh no, judgment has been passed. It's too late now. Don't try. Like, I'm not.
I saw your face.
Yeah, you were judging me hardcore, and I'm like, well, I guess I smoke weed with my mom, and I'm like, damn, this cop just made me say that out loud, like, and I'm like, damn, that is kind of fucked, and yeah, he was judging me super hard, but then tried to take it back, which was kind of funny as well, and I'm like, made him feel self-conscious about it because I like stumbled and like, it's like, well, it's like it's fine, and I'm like, well, I mean. mean, not really, because we're like pulled over right now.
I mean, look where it got us.
So, yeah, only my mom.
That's good.
She's crazy like that.
Did they like? So they just like let you guys go? They're like,
they just took all my stuff, took all my papers and whatnot, and let us
they
go.
probably went and smoked it. Was this here?
It was in Minnesota still. Yeah, we were.
Okay,
driving.
I don't know what the laws are here, honestly.
Yeah, that's why nothing happened, because we were still in Minnesota state lines, and I didn't technically break any laws.
Wait,
Yeah.
Sioux Falls is
They
in
could've-
North Dakota, right?
South Dakota.
Yeah.
Well,
South
I've gotten a
Dakota, okay.
paraphernalia ticket in South Dakota, and I didn't go to jail for that, but I passed my field sobriety test, so he let me go. He just took all my paraphernalia and my pipe, and then
Yeah.
I got
They
a
have-
really expensive ticket.
They have like almost not breathalyzers, but they have a test for if you're high or not at the moment.
They gave me just the regular sobriety test, field test when they pull you over, like if you're drunk.
So like the touch your nose stuff. Or,
Yeah, and the alphabet backwards and all
Dude,
that.
fuck that one.
See, I don't think I could do that sober, or if
No,
I did,
that
I would
would
be
be
like,
dumb.
He said I passed everything with flying colors, so I guess I did a good job. I don't think I did.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't know how you're.
crazy.
So yeah.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
When I smoke a little too sometimes. I don't think I could ever drive or honestly function as a normal human being. I really will only smoke if I'm about to go to bed.
Okay.
Because like it's the best for me when I smoke and then I stretch a little bit and I can just like, I don't know why, but stretching is just like that much better when you're high.
Yeah, it always feels good. I don't know why I don't do it more. You always feel better after. Like working out, you always feel great after you do it, but I just can't get myself to do it.
I don't think I could do that working out while I'm high.
Oh yeah, I do that. I shouldn't get into the marijuana conversation because this is already
That'll be for next podcast.
Yeah.
Next
Yeah.
podcast we shoot with you.
the marijuana episode.
Yeah.
I do want to say, if there's ever an opportunity, I would love to also have your boyfriend on with you. So if we're ever out in LA, and
Yeah.
he's cool with it, obviously.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
If we're ever out in LA or
He's a performer.
you
The
guys are
lights and
here-
mics, he loves it.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
He's
I
a
know he
showman.
would.
Are you kidding me?
I just think thank you again for opening up about your
Yeah, thank
relationship.
you.
I think it's people will judge it and not learn from it. And that
Yeah.
is a crime. That is so ignorant and stupid for somebody to look at something different and not be like, maybe there's something here. Maybe there's like things that I can learn or things
Right.
that I can take from and think about how it applies to myself.
Grow from it.
Yeah, and Zemmy and I, we love like this new perspective that you bring. It's why we're always so hyped to have you on. So if there's ever an
Absolutely.
opportunity for that and he wants to do it as well, we'd love to open that door. And just whenever you're here, like you're always welcome to hop on the mic. So
Absolutely. Fuck. Yeah, I want to say too before I sign off.
Start plugging stuff.
yeah, start plugging.
So
Put that shit in there.
I recently joined a band in Los Angeles. So
No way.
You
It's
shouldn't
just-
have said that. Have so many questions.
I-
Yeah. Wait, I wish you would have brought this up way
Sorry.
earlier.
Well, I didn't want to. I don't know. I'm kind of. Here's the thing. Okay, I don't want to jinx it. Okay, because it's
Okay.
very, very new. But the
Okay.
thing
Okay.
is, I'm literally returning to LA on the same day that I'm doing my first show with
What do
them.
you do in the band?
I play bass, so I've been
That's
practicing.
so
That's
sick.
sick. Oh my god.
And I'll be honest, it's not the most technical bass lines ever for me, so
Whatever.
it's kind
That's
of easy.
okay.
But I
It's gonna be hard when you're on stage.
well yeah no I mean I kind of have I have
I guess you're.
decent no,
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah, I was
playing
gonna.
bass for a long time.
I think
but
actually, I think.
that's kind of yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if I can get like I could get like totally gangbanged on camera, then I think I
think-
can play my bass
Yeah.
on stage and
It'll be
No, that
interesting
makes
though.
dance
It'll be
around.
interesting. You might still get the jitters though. I feel like you
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
think just talking about it makes me want to throw up right now. Actually.
You're gonna do great.
Ah, I'm so sad
Thanks.
we can't be there for that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. Well, hopefully there'll be more. Hopefully it'll blossom
Yeah.
into something beautiful. But check out the band. It's called Invalid with 2 dashes. So 2 L's basically. Invalid.
You got to spell that.
E-A. I literally just already fucked it up.
I was gonna say, I was like, oh, I don't know that.
Don't want to make you feel bad, Becky, but that's not how you fucking spell it. INVALLID. And they're on Spotify with 2 dashes. So INVA -- ID. It's like industrial, like Trent Reznor, like Nine Inch Nails. Like,
I love that
super
shit.
hard. It's
Oh,
actually I'm
yeah.
super into it. So when he asked me to play the shows and like wanted me to be a part of it, I was like, no, I'm down. Let's really try
Let's
this.
rock.
Dude,
Let's do this.
I'm going to rip that shit all week. Now I'm gonna listen to every single one of your guys' songs. I'm so excited.
I'll show you before I leave. Yeah, I'll show you his stuff and everything. Yeah.
That's so cool. Plug the rest of your stuff.
Do the thing.
So
Do the thing.
Twitter
Last
is my Twitter is at HairySideChick, but I'm most active on Instagram, which is Rebecca Vanguard Official, all lowercase, all one word. And I don't know. The best way you can support me really is just by buying my OnlyFans subscription, onlyfans.com/Rebecca Vanguard, or buying a clip if you don't like the being recharged. My clip store is RebeccaVanguard.manyvids.com. And yeah.
Cool.
fucking.
We'll link the band. We'll link your socials. Unfortunately, we can't link the OnlyFans and stuff.
Of course.
But everything will be linked in the description. Thank you guys so much for listening. Appreciate
Thanks.
you guys. Come back next week. We'll see you. Bye.